Through the Aboriginal form of literacy of sand talk in conjunction with narrative and symbols, I will share my story of journey and learning throughout the course. From the beginning of the course, in our first tutorial, we started our lessons in a yarning circle. This is where we all shared as a class who we are. The yarning circle discussions were carried out in the entire course, where we shared important and critical discussions in a safe and open environment. Building on the yarning circle from week one, we explored the importance of connecting to country and teaching Aboriginal perspectives. We also discussed how many teachers across Australia experience a fear of causing offence, an obstacle that must be addressed and overcome. In week two, we focused on how the past has an ongoing effect on loss of identity, which many Aboriginal students may feel. This has been symbolised in my sand talk with a question mark. In this week, I learned about Nathan's story and the difference in education across 3 generations in his family: his father, himself, and his 2 children currently in primary school. Historically, Aboriginal children were not prominent in schools and have only been improved in the last 40 years. As a new graduate teacher, it is exceptionally important that we know how to teach Aboriginal education and understand who we can liaise with and talk to, ensuring we feel confident in the classroom to teach about the atrocities experienced by Aboriginal people. In week three, I gained a deeper understanding of Aboriginal education policies and the responsibility teachers have to incorporate Aboriginal culture and education into schools for all students. We discussed how it is implemented and ensuring that the policy is put into action. After reading Buxton's work, I discovered several key issues and challenges in Aboriginal education today, such as the achievement gap between Aboriginal and non-achieved Aboriginal students, cultural disconnects in mainstream education, and the underrepresentation of Aboriginal teachers and perspectives. The reading also highlighted the effects of historical trauma, socioeconomic disadvantages, and the need for culturally responsive teaching to better engage Aboriginal students and support their success. In week four, we looked at connecting with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities, the AECG, and most importantly, consulting with the community, students, and families on an ongoing basis. My sand talk here symbolises the school as a teacher and a teacher in the middle as a facilitator for ongoing communication with the community, students, families, and the AECG. Week 5 was an eye-opening experience where Courtney shared a powerful personal story about her family's connection to the stolen generation and the lasting impact of intergenerational trauma. In class, we discussed the importance of identity and the harm that is caused when it is stripped away. Courtney's story further illustrated how these impacts continue to affect future generations in everyday life. We also explored the high incarceration rates of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander youth and the systemic issues in Australia that still need to be addressed. In week 7, we went on a nature walk along the Birrabun Cultural Trail. We explored the concept of country and place and reflected on its deep significance for Aboriginal people. In our tutorial, we watched 2 videos and discussed various approaches to teaching and learning. In our small group, we noted the strong emphasis on learning through observation of elders, the I do, we do, you do model, collaboration, hands-on experiences, and practical skill development. In week 8, we discussed the importance of evaluating resources enabling to facilitate Aboriginal perspectives in a classroom. We reflected on our experiences with Aboriginal education during our own schooling and examined the use of equitable resources, how to locate them, use them appropriately, and seek guidance when unsure. In reflecting on the lack of Aboriginal education I received, I recognise the importance of becoming well informed on the topic and embedding it into my teaching wherever possible. In week 9, we sat in a yarning circle with a guest Cody and learned Wiradjuri greetings, explored sentence structure, and practiced asking questions. It was fascinating to experience a new language. We then read a book by Courtney decoding and discussing the meaning of Wiradjuri words. This was followed by a video highlighting the deep connection between language and country. We discussed the different Aboriginal literacies such as dance, storytelling, hand talk, and sand talk, which inspired this assignment. We further discussed Aboriginal ways of learning and how they can be embedded throughout all students' learning experiences. In week 10, we explored Aboriginal ways of working mathematically, including the challenges and misconceptions they face. I learned that Aboriginal people often excel in spatial mathematics such as drawings, plans, and measurements, especially distance. Their concept of time is cyclical and event-based, contrasting with the Western linear view where time is fixed and determined by dates. In our final week, Courtney and Cody discussed the concept of positionality and relationality in Aboriginal education. They explored the significance of relationships, how success varies for each student, and who holds these relationships. They also considered how relationships connect to knowledge, space, and the responsibilities involved. As with all teaching, ongoing reflection is essential in Aboriginal education. This course has provided me with a strong foundation to embed quality Aboriginal perspectives and learning experiences into my teaching practice. A key focus for me has been the importance of building and maintaining ongoing respectful connections with the Aboriginal community. Strengthening these relationships enables me to create meaningful connections with students, colleagues, and the wider community. This approach supports inclusive and culturally responsive learning that meets the individual needs of all students. As a result, I feel more confident and well prepared in my role as a future teacher to deliver authentic and respectful Aboriginal education.